Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini-games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
And let's talk about what lessons about.
Let's hang out.
And let's listen to 2 lesbians shout.
Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Lee Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is somewhere we can touch base every episode about things that are going on with the podcast and our lives or just the greater Les universe, and we have so many things to announce right now. First, we want to remind you that we have a Patreon up for our new musical coming out this summer, The Flame. You can get early access to songs, you can get some behind-the-scenes videos where we talk about the process of making them, writing them, things like that. It's a lot of fun, and it's going to help us make this musical, maybe do a live table read with the cast, and also make more musicals in the future. So it's super cool. You can check it out at patreon.com/theflamemusical. We also have a bunch of events coming up, starting with this week. Starting Friday, it is virtual Klexicon time. That's right. And we are going to be hosting trivia on Friday night. So you don't want to miss this. It is just general queer fandom trivia. We're going to have questions about so many different shows like Buffy and Teenage Bounty Hunters and all sorts of fun stuff. Don't miss that. We are so excited. And also just Klexicon going on all weekend. We're going to have a panel about The Flame, and they just have announced so many cool guests. Like you might have seen, you know, our fave and yours, the Teenage Bounty Hunters. Steprel is going to be there. So we have Devin and Maddie. They've announced some other faves from a recent Should Have Been Gay that we posted. We have our Warehouse 13 reunion. So they will have Jamie Murray there, and they also just had the recent announcement, I think, that Joanne Kelly will be joining her. So lots of excitement. You don't want to miss it. We're very excited. Then we also have some other trivia events coming up because we are just keeping our trivia rolling. So the next weekend, right after that, next week, we are going to have our dual The Haunting trivia. So that's right, we are doing The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor. We're going to have some spooky trivia fun with some ghosties. So you can check those out. You can get tickets for Thursday, April 22nd. We also have an event happening on Sunday, April 25th. It's not the Saturday this time, it's the Sunday. So definitely get your tickets. We are very excited. We can't wait to see you all there. We also, I know we're just very busy right now. We also are going to have another event coming up that we want to make sure you know about coming up at the end of May. That is going to be the LGBTQ Family and Influencers Summit. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. We're going to have more information coming your way soon. In the greater Les universe, let's just take a second and let's all just sigh in bittersweet joy at the Way Hot Wedding, shall we? If you haven't watched the Winona Earp finale yet, that was something. Look, do we love a queer happy ending? Yes. Do we love some beautiful brides in like an awesome dress and a excellent suit? Yes. Always. Just there were tears, there was laughter, it was a lot. So what a journey from start to finish the Winona Earp experience has been. We are, as much as we're sad that it is, in theory over, what a way to end it. So there you go. That's what's happening in the Greater Les universe. Back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Thanks, Ellie and Lee, and welcome to our 63rd installment of Should Have Been Gay.
It was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, podcasts are the new movies. Let's Hang Out is the most jerkin podcast of all time.
I think I want to listen to Let's Hang Out now.
Oh my god, I so want to listen to Let's Hang Out. Podcasts are the new movies, I hear.
We are so happy to be talking about Josie and the Pussycats today, and we are joined by a very special guest, Alec Fletcher, co-host of Gotham Arcade and friend of the podcast, and me personally. You might remember him from our episode on LGBTQ rep in comic books in season 2, so check that out.
Way back in season 2.
Alec,
Yeah,
thank
that
you
was
so
a
much
long
for
time
joining
ago.
us.
Hi, thanks for having me. You forgot in my introduction that I am the resident Josie and the Pussycats expert.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I also wanted to say, too, so Alec basically said, if we do a Should Have Been Gay on Josie and the Pussycats, I can't do it without him. And I agree, because we bonded really hard over Josie and the Pussycats. I think it was on our way back from New York Pride, and Amanda, who is Alec's partner, was asleep in the back seat. And we were just in the front seat, like vibing on music. And I don't even know how. Like, we were just like, oh, do you know this music? Do you know this music? Oh, have you ever heard Josie and the Pussycats? And we just started freaking out.
Yeah, it was an explosion.
It was so good. We were like, and I mean, anyone who's listening, like, the type of music that is in Josie and the Pussycats. Amanda's passed out in the back seat, and we're like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, go.
Those catchy choruses.
Oh, they're so good.
They'll get ya.
Yeah.
They're so good. So let's do our IMDb synopsis. Are you ready, Lee?
I am always ready for our IMDb synopsis. For Josie and the Pussycats, it's as follows. A girl group find themselves in the middle of a conspiracy to deliver subliminal messages through popular music.
Solid synopsis.
I mean, that is the movie.
It's not wrong. However,
Is it, though? Is it really?
Could we make it gayer?
I bet we can.
I for sure know we can. Al, as our resident Josie and the Pussycats expert, what is your gay synopsis?
Oh boy, we're coming in hot with my should have been gay already.
Yeah. Okay, hit us.
What it means to me. And my IMDb gay synopsis is an open poly throuple who are also in a kick-ass band clash with record label execs trying to break them up.
Yes. I'm so glad that you did that also because I really in my heart have 2 gay synopses for this movie, and that's basically my other one, so this makes it much easier for me.
So what is your other gay synopsis? Lee?
Okay, I went in a slightly different direction for this one because it's less of a gay synopsis. It goes like this. Okay.
Are you gonna sing?
I'm not gonna sing. I should be singing it. I didn't have time. But here's my synopsis of the movie. Josie and the Pussycats, a box office bomb or the most influential piece of art responsible for basically every cultural touchpoint in the past 2 decades. In this TED Talk, I will...
Exactly.
This is the other direction that I had to go in with this.
So how do we feel knowing that this was a box office bomb? ?
Look, we've been wrong about many things in history, okay?
Okay.
So painfully wrong.
It's true. I think that this movie, it's like a cult movie. Like, to me, like, I've experienced, like, not a lot of people talk about it, but when you mention it and somebody, like, loves it, they're like, oh my God, that's my favorite movie. I mean, I watched this movie from a really young age, and I loved it when I was a kid, you know? So it's funny to see, like, adults that, like, haven't had that, and they watch it for the first time as adults, and then they're like,
or if you have good friends, because
Look, I watched this as an adult, and my take is I'm pretty sure all culture in the past 2 decades is this movie is responsible for all of it.
It's a
And we're gonna
sneakily
get into the
smart.
specifics, but like I
It
have
is
a lot
so
of
smart.
things that I was like, huh.
yes, it's pretty. When you watch it again, it's just incredible. We'll talk about our experiences with it. I still haven't done my case
Okay.
synopsis.
No, yeah,
because
do your gay
I'm
synopsis,
just
Ellie. I want to
too
hear it.
excited.
I feel like you've been holding back, and I'm excited.
Okay, so mine's not about the throuple, but my main ship. So Josie and her girlfriend Val rise to fame with Josie and the Pussycats, almost break up because of the fame, but finally get back together and make out during their final stadium concert. That's what I want.
Accurate, but like, how are you just gonna write Mel out like that?
She wasn't even in the synopsis.
I know, I'm so sorry. And I do love her, but I just like feel like she should be with Carson Daly. You know what I mean? Like that'll oh God.
fair,
Everything
fair.
about this film is
And
just
their noses touch.
it's perfection.
Oh no.
So let's speak on what our experience was with the film. Lee, I will let you start, even though I know,
Oh God, thank you.
it's another embarrassing moment for you,
look.
but
If everyone has not caught on yet, it is season 4. I had not seen the movie. Okay, I feel like we should just record I want a disclaimer in the movie guy's voice of that. Season 4. Lee has not seen the movie.
You better add things your movie phone.
Yes, that's what I need. I hadn't seen it. I watched it like 2 nights ago, and it was a revelation. It was an experience. What a joy. What a joy this was.
I have to say, I get scared sometimes when there's a film, like, I guess like Beaches, it's different. But when there's a film that I love so passionately, and Lee, you're like, I've never seen it. And I'm like, please love it. Please love it. Please love it.
Look, I feel like you should have expected that as soon as like Alan Cumming, all of the guys in Du Jour show up on my screen, and like Donald Faison walks out, and I was just like, what is happening right now? And why do I love it so much? Why? Seth Green, what is going on? What is
Also,
this?
to be able to watch this movie for the first time again, like, I really am so jealous of you.
I know, right? Like, that would be a crazy experience. It's absolutely wild.
It really is. So tell us about your experience, Alec, because clearly you said you watched it when you were a child, which, of course.
Yeah, so I grew up with 2 older sisters, and they had watched this movie, and it was always on at my house. We had the DVD. I'm sure we had the VHS tape. And I just have been watching it for years and years. And then I had a friend. We started a band together when we were teenagers, and we both loved this movie so much. So we would always quote it at each other. And therefore, just like cementing my love, making it not just a childhood, thing, but watching it every couple years and just being like, this is the perfect movie. I mean, I watched it twice this week already. And I wasn't like, oh, I'm done with this. I was like, that was great.
It's just so good.
Iconic.
It's so smart. It's so witty. Like, Eugene Levy's in it. Like, what is happening?
Who isn't in this movie?
Right.
Honestly, honest to God, every other person who showed up, I was just like, what? What other treasures am I gonna find?
It was really
just,
every scene. You're just like, who's coming next? It's fun.
It never stopped being delightful.
I also watched this film what year did this come out? I need to know.
2001.
Okay. So I feel like I probably watched it around the time it did come out because I loved it. I was obsessed with it, continuously watched it, loved the music, like wished I could be one of the Pussycats, no shit. And my sister and my childhood best friend and myself were the Pussycats for Halloween when I was like 10 years old.
Please tell me you have photos, and please tell me we're going to post
find
them.
The pictures, and I was Val.
I forgot to mention this, but I was Melody for Halloween like 2 years in a row.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing.
It's just like, How can you not?
Wait. I'm sorry. Can I just... Sorry, because you asked when this came out, and I actually went and looked up, like, its release date. This episode is airing 3 days after its 20th anniversary of its release.
Wow.
We really planned this so well and we didn't even know.
We didn't even know it.
That just gave me chills. Like,
Right?
just like we're so in tune with this film.
April 9th.
I think we should do it this week.
April 9th, 2001 is when Josie and the Pussycats released.
Incredible.
It's like so ridiculous and just so great. And the music is fantastic.
It's so good.
Like,
so,
the soundtrack itself stands alone.
The soundtrack is great. I have a lot of soft spots for this movie, namely that, like, Rachel Lee Cook, where are you in my life these days? Like,
On Hallmark, to be honest.
As
that's
one
where
of the
she is.
few, look, I have very few people that you can use as, like, examples for how to pronounce my name. Rachel Lee Cook, like, got me through a good number of years in, like, high school and stuff. And then, where'd she go?
She left.
Where'd she go? I need her back. Plus, she's always like, you know when people are like, oh, who are the celebrities that, like, everyone tells you look like? I always used to get Rachel Lee Cook.
Nice. That's not a bad
No.
comparison. I'll take
My
it.
point is, I need her back.
Also, Alec, what were you going to say about the music?
Oh, I was going to say that I learned today while watching the commentary on the DVD, which I'd somehow never done before today, that the actors who play all the Pussycats learned how to play the songs so that when they were doing the live sequences, that they actually look like they know how to play the songs because they do.
That's awesome.
They went to a rock music camp for like a week or two.
That's
on set.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and they do provide some of the vocals, too.
Yeah, they did some of the backup vocals.
Yeah.
I watched the behind the scenes documentary today too because I'm insane. And they were struggling so hard in the booth. It was very fun.
Oh my God.
I mean, because they lip sync everything, like, when they're performing, like, it's a singer from Letters to Cleo
Yeah,
who does
it
all the
is.
lead vocals.
Yeah.
And so Rachel Lee Cook, like, lip syncs her vocals, but they did like sing some of the backing stuff, which I think is super cute. I feel like normally
Yeah.
they don't. I wouldn't have expected that they provided anything to the soundtrack.
Well,
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson was in Rent. Like, she can sing.
Oh, I know she can, but it's just, like, usually when you're making a movie like this, I would have expected them to just, like, record a band somewhere and, like, slap the tracks underneath them lip syncing and stuff.
It's like,
so.
didn't Lindsay Lohan learn how to play for Freaky Friday?
Is that true? That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure she did because I feel like I remember that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and if you watch, I was actually sort of noticing that, but
Yeah,
I was
it's like they look like they know how to play.
yeah, I was like, Rachel Lee Cook is playing a bar chord. I was like, I don't know if she's playing the right bar chord, but I was like, she is playing a bar chord, so she at least tried.
Yeah.
Yes. And also,
Unlike that one Glee episode where Diana Agron's trying to pretend that she's making guitar chords, and you're just like, no. Who did this to you?
No. Also, I need to remember who wrote the songs, but I'm like, one of the guys from Counting Crows wrote some songs, right? And then also the guy who wrote Stacy's mom.
Wow.
I think.
Oh, really?
But I need to find
Fountains
it.
of Wayne, right?
Yeah.
Is that Adam Schlesinger? Was he?
Yeah,
he was
I'm pretty
Fountains of
sure
Wayne,
Adam
right?
Schlesinger wrote.
He wrote "Pretend to Be Nice."
Which is
That's a banger.
so good.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure, what's the guy from Counting Crows? Adam something.
Adam Duritz.
Adam Duritz, I think, wrote some of the other songs.
Yeah, Yep.
So it's like really like legit music where you're like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
would be on the radio.
The directors also wrote the script for the most part, and they wrote some of the du jour songs.
The du jour songs are... All right, so let's... Now that we've...
Look. Having never seen the movie, let's just talk about
first
You're
scene of
right.
Du jour?
You're right, Ellie. There is no way to recreate the experience of turning on Josie and the Pussycats, knowing nothing of what I was getting into, and that opening sequence of Du jour singing "Backdoor Lover," and I just died. There is only one time that you will get to experience that.
Oh yeah.
I feel like let's get into our should have been gay, because the fact that the song they sing is Backdoor Lover. That's the first song we get.
It's like you don't have to be gay to have anal, but
But also, like,
I wrote down the lyrics. I'm your backdoor lover, coming from behind with the lights down low.
also it's like a secret love,
just
right?
me and you,
and
no
me,
one has
yeah.
to know.
Yeah. Exactly. So
It's
gay
not like we're kicking off on a
interpretation-
gay foot or anything.
And then
but,
there's also that du jour fanboy who's like, oh, and I love him. You know, like brothers.
Yes.
Oh, God, yes.
Like, I was crying watching this film again because I was like, from the second it starts, there was gay content. And just super gay content.
I mean, like, the gayest of gay content.
This is just, thank you. I'm so happy that we're here. Like, this is going to be the best episode.
And here's the thing. For a 2001 movie, it is the gayest of gay content that they do nothing with, right? Like, it's not like they're doing it and, like, playing it up for a big punchline or like, even really mentioning it. Like, it's just there.
It's there.
It's
They're
just there
gay
for
and
you
it's
to
fine.
enjoy and experience, and no one ever talks about it, and no one ever comments about it, and you just have a crowd full of screaming teenagers yelling, I'm your backdoor lover. And I'm like, yep, great.
Yep. And it makes sense. You're like, yep, that's a hit.
It really
Song
is.
slaps. Story checks out.
The song
yeah, it's
does
fine.
slap, though. That's the problem.
Why is
or-
it so good?
It's too good. It's too
Oh my
good.
god. Look, here's the thing. It's like for this era of movies, I want to dislike more a movie that is, I'm going to say conservatively 80% musical montage sequences, but like you can't because they're so good.
They're so good.
They're so good.
They are so good. All right, so we have this musical sequence, right? And then we get onto the airplane. We're gonna this movie, we like you can't skip anything. It's all gay.
Well, you get onto the airplane with Alan Cumming too, so you're just like, I mean, it's just compounding on the gay. Like
+1 for
gay,
Alan Cumming.
gay icon Alan Cumming, sure.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's not believable that he's supposed to be a straight person in this movie.
Not at all. White ass Wally, like, sorry to spoil it for everyone, but like, no, you're a like fantastic, completely petty gay man in this
Right.
film, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Yeah.
Also, like, how long after Spice World did Alan Cumming film this movie, right? Like,
He's just in masterpieces, you know, like that's
Right?
just how he works.
It's true.
He won't sign on to a movie
Spy
if
Kids.
it's not good. Yeah. That's all we need to know. Cabaret. That's actually a classic. But seriously, he's not in a bad film. Find me a bad Alan Cumming film.
I just feel like someone saw Spice World and was like, yes. Yes.
Also, I have a stupid question.
Okay.
Alan Cumming is British.
I think he might be
Yes?
Scottish.
Okay,
He is-
Scottish, but he's
yeah.
not American.
No, he's
No.
not American.
Because I was like, yeah, his fake American accent at the end.
No
had me
way. Yeah, he's Scottish American.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm still confused. Like, he has an accent, though,
Yeah,
Yes.
I think
in
so.
his real, like, his normal voice. I have no clue. He's such a
He
good
has
actor.
an accent. I don't think his natural accent is the accent he was doing in this movie.
God, why is he so brilliant?
Fancy a mint.
Oh God, he's so good. Okay, so we get to the airplane, and du jour are basically, I would say, all of the men in du jour also gay. Petty as hell.
They are such a funny. I also think that whole group is in a relationship, and I kind of love it together because they are
I think
chaos.
Les is like the gayest man I've ever seen, but like in a good way. I love
I mean,
him.
his name is Les.
Yeah, exactly. I literally wrote that in my notes. His name is Les. So yes, you are correct. They bicker like an old married couple. Majunia face. You know, that whole thing. Also, but they're also like, they are obsessed with each other, right? They're fighting, but they're also like, du jour means family. Du jour means friendship.
means friendship. Oh my god.
Du jour means crash positions.
Yes. This entire episode will just be us quoting the film. You're welcome. Take the Chevy to the levee.
They had to pay for that.
And
Did
they
they?
did
I'm sure they
Smells Like
did.
Teen Spirit. They had to pay
Yeah.
for a lot of shit. I mean, the product placement in this film, the amount of money this movie probably made.
No,
They didn't make a
they
single
made
cent on it
nothing.
because of the satire.
Are
They
you
put it all in there on their own and charged no one anything. They got no money for product placement. Right?
That is insane. Look how much they put in there.
I know. And they were just like, no, we're doing it for like the statement, right? This movie is art.
It is. I cannot. The fact that they didn't make any money off the product placement is even more beautiful.
It's crazy.
What? This is
We
now
just
become a
blew-
Josie
we
and
just
the
blew
Pussycats
Ellie's
fan
mind.
cast. I mean, not that it wasn't already, but like, holy shit. All right, so we have du jour. They crash, all of that. Then we finally, after like 5 minutes, meet our Pussycats. Let's chat about this opening sequence. What do we think about the Pussycats when we meet them?
Okay, so for me, I had to take my Josie goggles off because I'm in love with Josie, and I have been for like my whole life.
So you are Alan M.
Yes, I'm Alan M. So yeah, I sort of just like usually focus on Josie by accident. So this time I had to go like take them right off. But this montage is really fun. Like I feel like you get a grip on all the characters like really quick with it. Like you see Mel like loves animals and is sort of like airy. And also the honk if you love the Pussycats sign.
Yes.
And she's like, I mean, I would have honked. I get it.
Exactly.
I feel like already in that montage, because look, when I say, I swear this film is responsible for so many cultural things that like everybody knows now that I'm pretty sure trace right back to here. You tell me this montage, the opening sequence here of the band, does not exactly set up Mel to be the archetype for Britney S. Spears. Lies. Like,
True.
That character is 1000% based on Mel.
Melis, and just I feel like let's like Mel appreciation here, because I feel like Mel's treated interestingly, right? Like sort of by other people, they're like, Mel's an idiot. But for Josie and Val, Mel is like this beautiful sunshine angel. And I just love that, like, they never make fun of her. They never put her down. Like, even
Never
when
once.
even when she says like the strangest things, they're just like, "It's okay, honey. You're just sitting on the that's why you're cold."
Right?
Like so gentle.
But here's another thing about Mel that I think is really interesting is like, I mean, and I was watching something today where Tara Reid was like, you know, she's not the smartest person, but like she has sort of like intuition, like Tara from Buffy, you know, like
Yes.
she's
Or like Britney from Glee. Look, all I'm saying is you tell me this is not the same character. It's the same character.
right?
She
the same
like
character.
she knows when something's wrong.
Yeah.
She knows when someone's a good
she
or a bad
picks up-
person. She like picks up vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not dumb.
Right.
Like she
And
is not.
She keeps Josie and Val having fun because they're both really into like being grounded and being headstrong, and she's sort of the one that's like, but like let's have a bake sale.
What if I was in this room or in this room or in the living room? Or I love her so much. But yes, Mel appreciation, hardcore. But also like, so we set up Mel, right? We also set up Val, who I will say, Val is my highest on the level of like, this is a queer woman. She is running a food drive. We all know the queers are charitable, you know. Her outfits, she's always wearing bandanas.
Oh, the outfits, man. It's a lot.
And then let's talk about their first show where we see the relationship between Val and Josie. Because this moment, there is no heterosexual explanation for
None.
who's a rock star, Who's a rock star? And
I
then,
am.
thank you. And then, what does she do? She kisses her.
She kisses her.
Kisses her. And this is 10 minutes into the film.
That's just the start of all of like the hand holding, cuddling, touching, and kissing that we see.
There is
They're
sitting.
so much physical intimacy.
Yeah,
So much.
I love it.
And really, it's like, that's why like I vibe on the poly, but I do feel like there's far more physical intimacy between Josie and Val.
There definitely is.
Like, it just is like much more because they do have that hand holding scene.
But I also think Melody, I also feel like is like the emotional anchor of this relationship to me, because I think there's a lot of the physicality you see a lot more between Josie and Val. I agree, but the looks, Melody gets a lot of the looks.
She gets a
right?
lot of
like,
the looks.
Especially the first one that I noticed, like especially was in that first scene when the girls drive up and are like making fun of them and giving them a bunch of shit after their show, and they drive away, and Mel and Val share this look at each other where you're just like, they're like there for each other, you know? They're just like being there in that moment together, and I just feel like a lot of the time, like you can see Val and Josie both do it, they like look to Mel when they need to be like grounded or built back up or just like get that support. Like that's what Mel is always there for, and that's why I can't believe you wrote her out of this throuble, Ellie. God,
I'm sorry.
How very dare you?
I can jump on it. It's just because as Al is like, I have Josie goggles, I have Josie and Val goggles, because they ship
I
them
get that.
so hard.
Okay, look, I get it, and I know I'm gonna like jump us to the straight end of the movie here, but you're just gonna write off like I love you and I love you and I love you Val and I love you and I love you Josie and I love you. And
Scream, you scream, we all scream praise.
you're gonna write all of that off as though it never happened? Come on.
Yes, they do all love each other. I just think there's platonic love between the three of them, and there's romantic love between these two. And like,
I will
Mel
politely disagree.
That's fine. That's what this whole show is about.
We
okay?
can agree to disagree. It's okay. All ships are valid here.
All ships are valid. All ships can sail. here.
Unless they involve Al and M, in which case,
yeah, Al and M,
get right out of here.
Oh, I got some thoughts about Al and M, but they're
Oh, no,
let's talk.
never mind. I'll give him a chance then. I want to hear it.
We'll get there, I feel.
all right.
Well,
all right.
wait, can we talk about Al and M real quick? Because Al and M is also a very important scene for me when we meet him.
Yeah,
in terms
let's
of
talk about
establishing-
meeting Al and M.
Yeah, let's talk about meeting Al and M as Josie fixes up his car for him. And I'm like, oh, you giant lesbian. I love you so much.
Okay, this is very like Betty from like Archie Comics energy, because she also fixes cars, and they also both live in Riverdale. I'm like, they should date.
Yes. Okay, look, Riverdale is another one of my cultural touch points that I was going to bring up. So,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Right?
I was watching this movie thinking, what if I was watching this through the lenses of somebody who's seen Riverdale? And it's very weird. I had to be like, no, I can't do that.
Because, I mean, they're technically in the same universe, but they're not. Right? Like,
Right.
because
Right.
it is Josie and the Pussycats. Like, Josie and the Pussycats are in Riverdale, the show, as well. Like, it is
Yeah.
the same, but it's like, yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, this is so not the Riverdale that we're used
Yeah,
to.
it's so interesting.
No, but this is what I'm saying is like, you know how in the L Word, like they make the chart and like Shane's connected to everything? That is this movie in like cultural things of the past 2 decades. That's what this movie is. Everything.
It's why
everything
it still feels
goes
familiar.
back.
Like, it still
Everything
feels
ties
relevant
back.
when you watch it today.
Yeah, even though it's very specifically set in the year 2001, so much, it like is weirdly timeless.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is crazy. So what other thoughts do you have on Al and M?
Okay, so for me, I'm like, okay, there's like nothing wrong with Al and M. He's like the perfect guy, like specifically for Josie. And like, you know, for me, I'm like, that would ruin my poly throuple. But really, if they're just an open poly throuple and they're like, we all got our shit going on, you know, because like I think that the chemistry between Josie and Al and M is honestly pretty like much more than any other like hetero couple I've ever seen that I'm like excited about. But like he's just a nice guy, and when she's having issues with Val later in the movie because they don't communicate, which is, you know, an issue for both of them. She's leaning more on L&M for the things that Valerie typically gives her. And he's giving them to her, like, no problem, you know?
Yeah.
So
The one thing I will say for L&M is he is not the typical romantic interest of this genre and time period of movies where it's like antagonistic the whole time and you're just like, why? Where's
He's not a toxic. He's not toxic.
No, he's not toxic. I find him less interesting than the triad that has my heart.
yeah,
so
he's
it's fine.
super not as interesting, but he is just a good boy.
He's a sweet boy. He is a sweet boy,
literally
yeah.
a dog.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Strong golden retriever energy.
I could see golden retriever.
He's
vibes
like,
for
he's
him.
bordering the line of a himbo for me. I don't know why, I can't quite see him as a
Yeah,
himbo.
I mean, he's
but
he's like a small
He's, like,
town
close.
himbo.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a similar vibe. It's not quite there enough for me to be like, I love L&M the way I do with most himbos.
Yeah.
But it's close, though. He's like the good-hearted,
I do really like, I know I said Val and Josie, but if we work on that open relationship vibe, there is that scene at the end where Alan M and Josie are making out on the stage. And Val and Mel are like, oh, yeah. And like, if they were in an open poly situation where they're happy for each other when those things happen, that makes sense.
Wait, if we're gonna jump to that, can we just talk about the way that Val walks over?
Oh,
she's
but
like,
yes,
All
also,
right, we got to do this show
Yeah.
now. So
Please,
also
no, the
why
way
it
that
works
she walks
really
over
well
and is
as an
like,
open
yeah, no, I can see that, but she's definitely being like, and that's enough. Thank you.
exactly. She's like, okay, yeah, this is fine, but like, she's mine now. We're on stage.
Yeah, like I
So,
would like her back. Thank
Yeah,
you,
like
please, and thank you.
boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
not on
It
my
is
time,
so
okay?
it is so possessive the way that she like walks over to that situation happening.
She's like, this is sweet, but you know she's coming home with me tonight.
Yeah,
All right, but we're bouncing too far. But
it's so
I can
hard.
see the vibe. I
It's
can see
so
the vibe.
hard.
It is really hard.
yes, I also, if we wanted to do a sort of reimagining or retelling of the story as more queer, I could also vibe on Alan M being a queer woman. So we just like change him. And like, I think it could be, he has the haircut. Like,
He's got
you don't,
lesbian qualities.
he has a lot of lesbian qualities, you know? So I could like see that. And then it's like, he's or she is still a wrench in the triad, but it's still like super, super queer. I don't
like
know.
it.
That was all I was thinking where I was like,
Or could we do
Alan M?
like Alan M as like a trans mask character? Because that
I'm down
I could,
for that too.
I could be down for that too, right?
I just, like-
just how
He's got
can
a
we
penchant for
how
songwriting.
Yes.
right?
It's on the nose for some
he's
reason.
emotional, he's musical. Like, how can we I just need to like queer his character up a little bit
I
to be
also
in
I also was thinking as I was watching this, like, he's honestly not good. Like,
No.
as a musician. Like, I'm
Oh,
like,
the song is terrible.
well, every time we see him too, I'm like, it's like he's doing that thing where
Taking
like
my
he's
truck for
Yeah.
granted.
Oh yeah.
oh god,
He is
Alan.
1000% that guy that would be at every party being like, here's Wonderwall. Yeah, he's that guy. He's
Who wants to hear some music? Yeah, like when he's playing on the
no,
airplane.
you know who he would have been? He would have been the guy in 2000. No, wait, 2001? No, maybe I'm a couple years early. I don't know. I lose track of high school years now. Either way, he would be the guy at parties being like, anyone up for some John Mayer? Like, that would have been Alan M at a party.
Oh, Alan. So we have Alan M there. Then our next scene-ish.
Ellie's literally going to run us through scene for scene. We're going to be here all night, folks. I hope you're ready.
There's too much content. I don't want to miss it. That I wrote down is when Val and Josie are in their airplane chair together.
Oh, wait, we're skipping a lot, aren't we?
Well,
or is that's
just
where they have
told
the
me
band
not to
talk?
go
I
see
know.
them.
I know,
we
I'm
are
so
skipping
sorry.
them getting signed.
We're skipping them getting signed. That's okay. This is
we?
the conversation about the uni passes.
No, it's the airplane chair in their house when they
Oh.
see.
Oh
And
God,
it's
you're skipping nothing.
foreshadowing to our
Yes.
other airplane scene. But it's when they're in their house watching the back, like behind the music or whatever on MTV. And they're like, oh, it's so sad about du jour. And Melody leaves. And they're just sitting there in their joint chair.
Holding hands.
Holding hands.
Like you do with your platonic friends.
Holding hands. That's all. I just want to mention that beautiful moment because it's worth mentioning. Sorry, did I miss anything else before the airplane scene?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Sorry, I have one quote written down that now I can't even remember what it's from, and maybe you can tell me. I just have written down, "What's up, big butt?"
Oh, yeah.
That's from the airplane.
Who
That's
says
from the
that
actual
and
airplane.
to whom?
Val says that to Josie because she plops down on her lap.
Oh, right. Okay. I just wrote it down because it felt important. I don't know.
It is important.
Truly.
Highly. It just reminds me, okay, so I don't know if anyone else had this experience, but so they're on an airplane, but like any mode of transportation will do, you know what I mean? But like when I was in high school and we would be on a bus for my show choir and we'd be like on our way to a gig.
Ow.
And I would just like plop down on my friend's lap and we would just be like, I'd be like on her lap on the way to the thing and we'd just be like talking and laughing. And I was like, this is totally normal friend intimacy. And like I'm the only girl on someone else's
totes normal.
Another girl's lap in this entire bus. You know?
Let me tell you how many of my photos from high school are just me like holding my friends. Like in that, and I feel like we should do an episode on this, Ellie, because I feel like I know
sitting on laps.
We've
all done it.
We've all done it. On that thing content that I feel like is relatable queer content for queer people that like before you realized for yourself that I feel like a lot of us had, like, I know we've talked about the like when you had the friendship that was like secretly a relationship, but this is like, it's not even that I was into all of them. It was just that there was something about like that level of physical contact that was like, that you were like, this is nice. It just was nice, you know? And like in ways that you didn't quite get yet for yourself. That you were like, why do I just like holding this girl? I don't know. It's fine because she's my friend.
Why do I go over to her house after school and it's 3:30 and we watch a TV show and then we're like, do you want to just take a nap and cuddle?
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
It's a wild ride, really.
So we've all been there, and let's take a hot minute. We'll hear from some sponsors, and we'll come back and talk about more relatable queer things. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/letshangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/letshangout.
Let's hang out.
For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Is it time to reimagine your future? The right business skills may make a difference in your career. At Capella University, we offer a relevant education that's designed to focus on what you need to know in the business world. We'll teach professional skills to help you pursue your goals, like business management, strategic planning, and effective communication. And you can apply these skills right away. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Okay, so we have the airplane scene. I feel like I'm afraid to jump us ahead, Ellie. I feel like you have too much to say.
You're right. Because this line, I think, is one of the best lines in the film, and also just like super gay. So they talk about their bus pass, right? Mm-hmm. The only bus pass with 3 people, which gives a lot of credit to your poly idea. I will say, the more we talk, I'm on board. I get it.
We're going to win you over by the end of this.
No, I mean, I'm down for it. And my favorite line in the whole film, let's promise each other something right here and right now. Friends first, whatever happens, we're friends first and a band second. And it just makes my heart warm. And I know it's so cheesy, but I was in an a cappella group over the summer. Like, it was a professional a cappella group. And sometimes we'd get into weird, stupid arguments. And I swear to God, me and Hannah, who's another member of the group, every time anyone in the group would like get into a thing, we would be like, friends first, band second. And we'd
swear on my bus pass.
We'd like pull people back.
Oh my God.
Like, remember, like, the music doesn't matter as much as we do together. And I've lived by that.
It's a vibe. I've been in bands.
Right?
You know?
Friends first, band second is so much better than band first, and everything else is fine.
Ellie, we're friends first in a podcast second.
I know. I wanted that to be the beginning line, but we couldn't.
I mean, we'll just get shirts. It's okay.
Oh, can I have one of those?
Yes. Friends first, band second. It's so beautiful. So yeah, was there anything else on the airplane that we want to talk about? Because there was like a lot of, there's a lot of touching. There's a lot of lap sitting.
Not a lot of gay stuff, just a fourth wall break where Alexandra Cabot says, Alexander is like, why are you even here? And she's like, I'm here because I was in the comic book. And I love a fourth wall break, so.
That line cracks me up. Like, what? Nothing?
Okay, but wait, also, can we discuss the character being named Alex Cabot? Because that's another one of my cultural touch points for queer icons of the past 2 decades. SVU? Anyone? Just me? Okay.
I'm sorry. Wait.
What?
Oh, Kabenson?
What?
Kabenson.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Benson is Alex Cabot, the character, and Olivia Benson. Right? The blonde DA that everyone ships Benson with.
Yeah.
Her name is Alex Cabot. And I was like, what is happening right now? I swear to God, everything ties back to this movie.
That's crazy.
Right?
Everything comes back to Josie and the Pussycats.
Everything does.
I didn't take a lot of notes after this airplane scene. Or I guess I did, but they do like this whole montage where they're getting makeovers. Great makeovers, blah, blah, blah. But this is just a shout out to the only canon lesbian in this whole film, which is the woman who does Josie's hair at the end.
Her name is Sally Hershberger. She's a famous hairstylist.
And she's a queer woman, right?
I don't know. She looks really gay in that shot, though.
She has to be.
She's that Shane McCutcheon-ass hairdresser.
Right?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Sally? I need to look this up. American hairstylist. In need to know. Oh, God. It doesn't say anything about her personal life.
Yeah, I was having a hard time finding something about it today.
All right, well, we won't assume, but she does look
rather gay.
Yeah.
She looks pretty gay.
Quite stereotypical. So just a shout out to that one.
Can I also shout out, just while we're doing this sort of generally, that I love how they do the whole, because again, like this, it's all montages. This movie is all montages. And the fun thing about montages is like you can completely gloss over how long of a time period they are covering. And so I love that they go through this whole like shooting to the top of the charts and whatever. And then they're like, it's been a week. And I'm like, what a lesbian move to just like U-haul your way into like like a rock god career, to just be like, oh, we were nobodies and now we're the #1 band in the country, like in a week. And I'm like, yep.
That's amazing.
I love
just
it.
U-hauled it like you do. It's fine.
Yeah. When they get ready to like record those songs and the video and stuff, like they're like, you can see Josie is like feeling like an intense amount of like anxiety and like, is this what we're really doing? And then she looks to both of her boos and she's like, is this what's going on? And they're both like, you fucking got this. We got this together. And then they shoot to the top of the charts. I mean, I know that subliminal messaging was involved, but the looks really got them there.
Also, like, whenever I watch this film, I'm like, fuck, do I love this film because it has subliminal messaging in it? I literally think this is the best film ever. And I'm catch myself being like, wait, am I
Josie and
okay?
the Pussycats is the best movie ever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's working.
I'm like, shit, it worked. It worked. And the music.
Look, all I know is, did I buy Pumas the day after watching it? Who knows? No, I don't know. It's fine.
I want a Big Mac.
Yeah.
I want a Big Mac.
You're a vegetarian. Oh my God. Why do I have all these lines literally in my brain? And then we are introduced to another character who I'm going to say like is just like gay icon. Parker Posey. Fiona.
Okay. Wait.
Yes.
Can we? I need to discuss Parker Posey, because you tell me. Look, if Mel is the archetype for Brittany in Glee, like, did Elizabeth Banks just base the entirety of Effie Trinket in the movies, in the Hunger Games movies, on Parker Posey in Josie and the Pussycats? Because
you'd be a fool not to.
And you would be hard pressed to convince me that she didn't. Like, how? That scene where she's walking down, where she has like the feathers sticking out of her thing, and I'm like, you are straight out of the Capitol right now. Like, what is happening? What is happening?
Yeah, I mean, Josie is way ahead of their time. You know what I mean? Like, it's a huge commentary on capitalism and the American government, and like the sordid Hollywood scene. There's just, they really exposed a lot.
It's in a really funny way.
Because we're all just like, yeah, it was hilarious. And we're like, wait, is that? Is this really what? Yeah, Fiona's amazing.
Fiona's so wonderful. Like, watching this, like, I never really looked at her, like, through, like, a queer lens before being like, she's either queer. I'm like, she's probably pansexual or something. But also she's got this, like, sort of Liza Minnelli thing going on.
Yeah.
Where she's, like a gay's best friend. You know, should have been gay, like, Wyatt and Fiona's friendship or something.
Yes. I totally see, like, yeah.
Let's talk about Fiona and the first time she meets the girls and she's like, this is my girly room. No boys allowed. And you're just like, what's happening?
Can I give you a massage?
Yeah, then
what's
she's like
going
rubbing
on here?
her shoulders.
She wants female approval so badly too. Where you're just like, you know, that like super gay thing when you're like, I don't care what men think, but like, please like me, be my friend. You're cool. Yeah.
Tell me I'm pretty. Tell me I'm pretty enough. Yeah. It is like, whew.
I also love like, okay, so if we talk too about, let's talk about Wally. What's
Wyatt?
Wyatt. But he is Wally.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Wyatt and Fiona, because talk about also like queer glow ups. They're like, think about like being a queer kid bullied in high school and being like, you know what? Fuck all of you, because I am going to reinvent myself to be fabulous and take over the world and like be more successful than all of you who put me down.
They really did nail it until they got caught, you know?
I mean, even still, I feel like they're gonna be fabulous together in jail, you know?
Right.
It's gonna be in like an Orange is the New Black kind of vibe with Wyatt and Fiona. I don't know where I'm going with this.
But we're going along for the ride, Ellie, and that's okay.
Yeah, but I do love them. Let's see what else. Okay, so now that we have, you know, we've seen Fiona, we know she's, I agree, pansexual. Like she just loves people, and she just like wants to be free and get to explore all kinds of stuff. But let's talk a little bit about the evolution of Josie and Val's relationship here. Because from the beginning, I feel like they're like, we are together. We're solid. We know what we know what our relationship is. We like know who we are together. And then everything in their lives change. And like Val's feeling all kinds of jealousy, and she's scared she's going to lose the love of her life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's, it's so sad. She says some things feel like they've changed completely.
It's sad.
Gutting.
It's so sad. And then we have our date with Josie and Alan M. And okay, I can see what you're saying, where Alan M fulfilled some things for Josie that she needed. However, I would like to say, she says to Alan M, I'm not a rock star. And I feel like in her heart of hearts, she wants Alan M to say.
She wants it.
Like, who's a rock star?
Who's a rock star?
Damn, I never thought of that.
Was begging for it right there. Yeah.
That's so good. I mean, that would have been so good.
Yeah, like she's like, I don't even think she realizes it, but she really was like, I'm missing Val right now, and I don't feel like I'm not a rock star. Who's going to tell me I'm a rock star? Somebody tell me, because my girlfriend's not here to do it.
Wow.
Yeah. And he does. I mean, he is good. You're right. He was good about it. But he
doesn't say the right thing.
Exactly.
No. Damn.
And if I were to like really rewrite this with Val and Josie being together, at that moment, there'd be like this like voice in the back of her head, or like a flashback to Val, and it's like, who's a rock star? And then her eyes are like, oh, it's Val.
Just another musical montage.
When we talk about, this is why I have to go with the throuple, because I just feel like emotionally they get each other. They are there for each other. Like exactly that. She is asking for a specific type of validation that like Alan M just doesn't know how to give her, and Val would. It's also just because I think we went past the scene already, and I just want to talk about it. Can we talk about what Val needs? Because Val also has a rough go in this movie and is frequently, like she's so much of this movie is Val looking for that validation that she needs from Josie that she's suddenly not getting because her girlfriend's been brainwashed. I mean, it's just relatable content all around. But what I love is when they're having that scene where, and of course they're being like, she's being gaslit by Wyatt like the whole movie.
Yeah, it's really rough.
Oh, it's so bad. And I feel like probably someone should write a whole dissertation on how it's like the one non-white person in the band that they like immediately zero in on and try to write out. And you're just like, okay.
The directors were saying that it's not a race thing, that it's that she's the bassist and that's what happens with the rhythm section. But I feel like I feel like that's way too much of a stretch for me.
But it's also like, you can't ignore the fact that it is also a race thing.
Exactly.
Like the way it happens, it's like kind of didn't age great, that part of it. But but I just think one of the other like cutest moments in the throuple for me, and again the reason that like I cannot write Melody out, is when he gives them the invitations to the party and Val didn't get one, and Melody, like, you just see her like hand her little invite at the end of the scene, you know, and she's just like, it's okay, here, and you're like,
so good.
They're just like, they get each other. They all get each other. They know what they need at every point in time. Like, they just always know what each other is going to need or is looking for or how to, like, boost up, you know? And I love that for all of them. That's all.
There is, like, just so much validation between the three of them. And, like, I know we did talk about, like, there's obviously some jealousy, and they have communication issues about that. But I do also like that, like, when they clear up their communication issues, there's not actually jealousy there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like with the Carson Daly show. So Mel and Val get invited, and you can say what happened.
Yeah, no, so Valerie's feeling all of these, you know, like, Josie's the center of attention feelings, and, like, you know, she's hanging out with all these people, and we're sort of sitting in the back seat. And then Wyatt comes in and invites only Val and Mel to go on TRL with Carson Daly. With two Carson Dalys. And,
yes.
And Valerie's like, well, is that okay with you, Josie? And Josie's like, why would that not be okay with me? Of course you should go. I love that show. Like, not for 1 second is she like,
people should get to know you two better. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Right? And I feel like, you know, they should have been having these conversations from the beginning. Like, look, you're clearly the one in the spotlight. Like, Josie isn't doing anything to be like, I know that I'm the one in the spotlight, but you're not getting that, you know? So I understand where all the jealousy comes from. They're not having that conversation.
Yeah.
But they have to have the conversation.
But that's what I like about it, right? Like, they were not communicating, but you also have to think, like, the timeline is this is 1 week, right?
Right.
That's true.
One week, incling brainwashing.
That's
it's
like
a lot, you know?
Whiplash, for real.
Yeah. So I do feel like the reason they're not communicating is because it's, like, just craziness, and they have not even gotten a chance to, like, be together like they usually are.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why
they're
love,
being
like,
driven apart.
Yeah,
exactly.
The one conversation that they actually do have about it is so positive, where you're like, okay, like, there's no confusion about this. Like, it isn't Josie. I mean, besides after she gets brainwashed, but, like, the real Josie is not, like, she wants her, I'll go with it, she wants her polythrouple to succeed together.
Okay, look, I have a couple more things in favor of the polythrouple. One, what snaps Josie out of her brainwashed haze? It's the picture of the three of them on their bus pass, right? It's not like, oh, my feelings for L and M have saved me. No, it's her feelings for Val and Mel, okay? That's my first thing. My other thing is, who do they hold hostage at the end to force Josie into playing the concert for them? It's not L&M, who they also know about and have been trying to, like, keep her away from this whole time. Like, no, they're not like, oh, the love of your life, we'll use him against you. No, they pick the girls. Of course they do. They put the girls and they're like, we will explode their car if you don't do this for us, right? And that's also what tips her over the edge. It's like when Fiona starts insulting them, that she's like, that's it. Like, that is the breaking point. She's like,
nuh-uh. In someone's mouth.
If you wouldn't stick a Twinkie in someone's mouth for your friends, like, are you really in love? I don't think so.
Oh, that's so
So look,
true.
that's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say those are my other things in favor of the throuple.
I mean, I agree. Do we want to talk a little bit more about this? I mean, we talked about this before where they like, I love you, Josie.
Oh, I love
you,
that.
Mel.
I love it so much.
I love you, Mel. They all love each other. It's so beautiful. She does say you're my sister and I love you. So like,
No, I wrote over that in my head.
That.
Sorry, I
didn't know
must
when
have
you were
coughed at that line, or I don't know. The car drove by loudly.
no one said that.
Didn't hear it.
Another thing that I would change if we just like completely get rid of Al and M in my retelling. So when Josie's on this is why I say they make out at the end. So Josie's singing her song and she says, "This is for someone who said he believed in me." And instead, I wish she said, "This is for someone who always told me I'm a rock star."
Yes.
And then she turns to Val and she's like, "This one's for you, baby."
And then they just make out with tongue on stage. Yeah.
Yes.
Here for it.
That would be so good.
How good would that be?
Oh, this is in my notes, but it's irrelevant to too much of the gay stuff, but Melody says that she's a Scorpio, and that just has to mean something to somebody that listens to this podcast.
Honestly, so true.
I'm wondering what the signs of the other Pussycats are, like Josie and Val, like what their signs would be. Because Melody being a Scorpio weirdly makes sense, even though it's kind of backwards.
Yeah.
I feel like she's like one of those sneaky Scorpios.
Well, she's definitely a water sign. Mm-hmm. So like a Scorpio does make sense, right?
It's
she has
true.
a lot of feelings.
Hey, I love Scorpios.
Yeah, obviously. We know this. But I could see the water sign. I mean, I guess probably Josie would have to be like a Leo or something. Right?
Could be.
Some sort of fire, some sort of fiery sign. And then I feel like maybe Val's like an earth sign. She's
I think that makes sense.
Rocking a Taurus.
Yeah.
Something like that. She's pretty stubborn. She like, I don't know. Are Tauruses bad at communication? I'm not sure, but I know some Tauruses who aren't good at communication.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
Sorry, Tauruses out there. They're very strong-willed. So I feel like Val's pretty strong-willed.
That's true.
But I'm curious. I feel like that's something for our Twitter. We need everyone to tell us.
Somebody out there has done.
Leave it in the
Someone out there has their
comments.
charts, right? Like, tell us.
Subscribe.
Email us. letshangoutpod@gmail.com.
I mean, I know you said we couldn't go through this scene by scene, but we mostly have.
We did great.
Are there
we did
any
great.
gay things that we missed?
Oh man.
When Josie is like rescuing and sort of reconciling with, Mel and Val, and we talked about the I love yous, but like she truly does like speak so genuinely from the heart and is like, these are the things that I love about you. And she takes ownership of the way that she acted when she was, brainwashed. And she's like, it's not my fault that I was brainwashed, but I did say those things and I didn't mean them. And like, I love you. I'm like tearing up. No.
But like seriously, why do they have one of the most beautiful like relationships of any couple I've ever seen on TV?
Right? It's so genuine and true,
They have such good chemistry. Like the actors themselves have really great chemistry, all three of them together. And just like, yeah, I feel like it is just like such a genuine friendship.
Yeah. I heard that they clicked very quickly on set, like immediately, which I can definitely see being true. They look so good together, and just so good in general.
I know. I wonder how much of the physical intimacy was improv.
The world may never know.
I mean, probably a lot of it. I highly doubt they have in the script like the girls hold hands.
Right.
I have one more gay note that we didn't touch on, Ellie, that I just need to mention, which is when they do their 1 week Rockstar U-hauling montage, and then they want to give us like some insight into the girls and their newfound fame and all this. the way that they do that, right? Like, du jour, they had like, oh, here's like a crowd of screaming teenagers, and here are these boys who are in love with du jour. For the Pussycats, they have, here are 3 other teenage girls who are now going to show up at your door, scream about you and how obsessed they are with you and how much they love you, and ask you, do you want to see our pussycat tattoo?
True.
That's
true.
all. I'm just going to drop that. We can do with it what we will. I'm just putting it out there, okay?
Also, as we're talking about just like the Pussycats as a band, I feel like the genre they chose is very telling.
Yes.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's pretty like, it's like early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s, like Riot Girl pop cusp.
Yeah.
And it's pretty neat. Honestly, like I know I grew up with the songs, but they're so good and they're so catchy, but they do have that like that sort of like edge to them that like other mainstream movies don't really tend to get right, is that sort of like alternative like pop cusp.
It's such like Riot Girl is like such the because that's why like I really just feel like it would be like music you like would hear at like the lesbian bar from 10 Things I Hate About You. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Was that time where they showed
1000%.
up-
Yes.
Where they showed up on the street with like acoustic guitars and they looked like they were playing Lilith Fair.
Yes. There's just a lot of just like the trio themselves just like have a lot of gay vibes. And then the fact that they're in love with each other just cements it.
Ooh, I also do want to say another gay note that I have, and this is the last one I have, but Alexander Cabot, at one point in the movie, Mr. Movie Phone is like, these are the most popular things right now, and one of them was Heath Ledger. And then and then Alexander says, like, I want this. And Heath Ledger. And
I want a vintage tee and Heath Ledger.
Yeah, and of course that is the brainwashing, but I'm wondering how the brainwashing works with sexuality, or if that's like, you know, only something that somebody who already would want Heath Ledger would say. Who knows?
I do feel like Alexander Cabot has pretty gay vibes. Like I actually think he might be canon gay.
I feel like he's playing it as gay. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that way, for sure.
Yeah. So I do think it's partially brainwashing, but I agree. Like, you're right. Like, is it only brainwashing for people who already find that sex attractive?
It's interesting.
Very interesting.
It's like that thing of how, like, hypnosis, like, you know, you can't hypnotize someone into, like, doing something that's completely against, like, the fiber of their being, you know? Or, like, as, what was it when we were at, I went to a hypnosis show, like, in high school or something, and they made one of the guys dance to, like, you know, like, man, I feel like a woman. And they're like, well, hypnosis can't teach you the lyrics to the song, so he knew all of them.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Yeah. Or also at my high school, there was, they had this guy dance and he started doing like triple pirouettes. And he was like a jock at our school. But then like somebody after was like, no, he's like taken ballet since he was like 8
yeah. I mean,
years
you'd have
old.
to. But like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you can't hypnotize someone into like learning something new that they didn't know before they were hypnotized. And you can't
but
like
everyone was
hypnotize
just
them.
like, oh my God.
If that were the case, I'd be going to the hypnotist every week. Like, teach me how to play guitar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right?
Help. I know, we will one of these days. We're going to put together a Josie and the Pussycats cover band, like even just for a night.
Yes.
Oh,
We're doing
that's
it.
the fucking dream.
We are doing it. So
If the actors could learn the songs, then so can we.
you're so right. Let's do it. Tomorrow I'm just going to be like, I got it. I feel like I need to learn how to play the bass. All right, I'll do it.
Okay. Are we done? Should we do our ships now, Ellie? I feel like I'm ready.
We have to. All right, so
Okay.
which characters are we shipping?
Well, listen. Listen, you know where we stand.
Okay, so we ship all 3 of them together. What is their ship name?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, other than the Pussycats,
Yeah, I
I
was
think
thinking
we have to
Josie and
do
the Pussycats is a good
Josie
ship.
and the
Yeah.
Pussycats is their ship.
Josie, Melody, and Val. Velocity.
We said velocity?
Velocity.
Okay. Yeah, that one's tricky. I like Josie and the Pussycats.
Valelocy.
It's a hard one.
I'm just gonna keep throwing out more things. They have so many of the same sounds in their names.
What about 3 small words, since all their names are short?
Oh my god, stop it. Stop it.
That's cute. I'm so
the
into
faces that Ellie and I just made.
I was like, I don't know if that's going to go over well.
It went over very well, listeners.
Incredibly. Okay, yes. Are there any other characters that we sort of haven't talked about that we ship? Do we ship Fiona and Wyatt?
No.
Okay, so we don't.
No.
I think they both
Here's
deserve
what I want to
love.
see.
No,
I don't know why I want to ship. I want to wait a couple years and ship Alexandra Cabot with Fiona.
I feel like that would be an interesting couple.
Right?
They'd be insufferable.
Yeah, exactly.
There would be so many feathers.
Yes, but that's why I feel like they would work because I feel like it's hard to ship Fiona with a lot of other people in this movie because she's a little much for them, but I feel like she wouldn't be too much.
That's true. She would not be too much for Fiona.
I don't think so.
Or for lisping Lita.
Yeah, I think I could see it too. I think I could see it. The only thing that I'm a little unclear of is exactly what age all of them are supposed to be.
Yeah,
so
that
I'm
is
gonna
an
say
interesting question.
set it a couple years in the future, and then I feel safe saying that.
I think the Pussycats and the Cabots are in their early 20s.
They're very non-specific about it though.
They were very non-specific because they weren't allowed to get any of the characters drunk, and I don't know why that is.
Huh.
Interesting.
Quite interesting.
I learned so many new things today.
I know. I'm so intrigued by this commentary. I have to watch it now. Anyone from Du Jour?
Oh.
All of them together.
At least Seth Green and that other guy with the goatee.
Yes. Yeah. Seth Green and the guy with the face? Or Seth Green and less? Marcus?
Seth Green and Marco, yeah.
Marco?
Yeah.
And Seth Green. What
Breckenmeyer also, where are you in my
Seth
life?
Green is in, I literally always just call him Seth Green. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
He's Seth Green or Oz.
He was Travis.
Oh, Travis, yeah.
He was Travis, and Breckenmeyer played Marco.
Yeah.
Okay, so Travis and Marco. Because, they definitely bicker like a married couple.
Yeah, they got something going on.
Charco. Morris.
Marvis. Yeah.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
And Du Jour is our other ship name.
Yes. I mean, of course.
All the ship names are just the bands. I mean, I don't know. Do you think this Josie and the Pussycats should have been gay?
I think it should have been gay.
It was pretty gay. But it should have been gayer.
This has been my favorite should have been gay we've ever done, and I knew it would be. But it's time now for our Q and gay.
Q and gay.
All right, so we're going to ask you some multiple choice yes or no questions. They're actually, I would say they're not hard, but I think you might have a little hard time with it. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Question number 1's already going to be an attack. What is the best Josie and the Pussycats song?
Oh,
A, Spin Around. B, Pretend to be Nice. C, 3 Small Words. Or D, You're a Star.
As much as I like the lesser known tracks, I do think I need to pick one of the big 2. Well, I guess the big 3. Oh, seemingly as Spin Around was the love theme underneath all of the Josie and Valerie scenes as well, I think I'm going to go with Spin Around just for this Q and gay.
Did they say that was the love theme in
They said
the
it was
commentary?
their friendship theme, but you know what that means.
Yeah, we do.
We know exactly what that means.
So it was their friendship theme, and the way that I wanted it to end was that it was a song dedicated to her, right? Spin Around.
You're right.
I was right.
You were.
Question 2. What is the gayest moment in Josie and the Pussycats? A, Backdoor Lover. B, The Airplane. C, Who's a Rock Star? Or D, just all the physical intimacy touching that happens?
Oh, that's a good one. I gotta go with Who's a Rock Star. It's so gay.
It's so good. All right, question number 3. What does du jour mean? A, family. B, friendship. C, available on this day. Or D, seatbelts.
Well, I do know what it actually means. But I'm going to say du jour means... Wait, what was A?
Family.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with seatbelts. Because they landed the plane just fine. And I'm sure that, you know, having the seatbelts on really saved them. But I do think that it's interesting that du jour means, like, you know, kind of like on this day, and it's very like a temporary situation for this very temporary band. They gave a lot of thought to this movie.
This movie. I'm with
And
you,
the
Ellie.
color
This movie is
schemes as well.
smart. It's clever.
It's so smart.
Those were great
Okay.
questions.
There's
Question
more.
4, Alec, are you ready?
Yes.
Who do you want Josie to be with? A, Alan, B, Val, or C, the Pussycats?
C, the Pussycats.
Yeah, correct answer.
All right, final
Friends
question.
first and a band second, but they're also
Yes.
still a band. Final question.
Friends first, band second, lovers third.
Lovers first. What are we
Lovers
talking about?
first, friends second. All right, question number 5. If you were in the Pussycats, who would you be? A, Josie, B, Val, or C, Mel?
Anyone who has Josie as their partner. So I'm going to go with Val because we have the most chemistry.
Nice.
And because
Nice.
being a bassist is really cool.
Yeah. I feel like also, like, I don't know, all of them are so cool. Like, Mel on the drums is, like, really severely underrated.
Yeah.
I agree.
She's playing some, like, sick drums.
Yeah, she's got some drums going on.
She really does. You cannot be dumb and play the drums like that. So back to our point from the beginning, melody appreciation. This also has been a melody appreciation episode. That's it for our Q&A. You did great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Those were tough questions.
I know they're very hard, but you got through it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
This was
thanks for having me.
100% the right decision.
Lee, I'm so happy for you that you've now seen the movie and have got to have a good
look.
cathartic conversation.
Happy birthday to me. That's what I'm going to say.
It's so beautiful.
Happy birthday to Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh, happy 20th anniversary. Just a milestone. Look at
Incredible.
it. Stands the test of time is what we're saying.
It truly does.
It really
also,
does.
Alec, where can our listeners find you online or find your podcast?
I am on Instagram. I'm not very interesting, but, you know, I post some stuff on... It's at pogo.and.work. Same on Twitter, I'm sure. And then also, if you are interested... I had a podcast. We've been on an extended hiatus. I don't know if we're coming back. But if you like video games and comic books and queer stuff, we do that. Or I used to do that. It's called Gotham Arcade. You can go on gothamarcade.com or find us on Twitter. Yeah. So that's all I got going on right now.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm like so happy we did this. Like too happy.
Me too. This was a blast. Thank you.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community. So we just like to shout out some of our favorite things each episode that we've heard from you. And this week we have 2 shout outs, both for our Instagram. We would like to shout out to, and I am so sorry because I know I'm not going to pronounce this very well, but Thorgerdur, I think that's close. So we just wanted to thank you for reaching out with, A, just telling us what the podcast means to you, which is always so great for us to hear, and B, with some more information about Gillian Anderson in The Spy Who Dumped Me and how apparently the casting was this whole joke because she had been Kate McKinnon's childhood crush, and it just makes the whole thing even that much better when you know it. So thank you so much for reaching out and letting us know. We love getting more information like that from listeners. And we also want to shout out Isabella, who also reached out to us on Instagram with some more Lessential suggestions, which you know we love. Obviously, the Lessentials we get through a little less quickly than the Should Have Been Gays, but hang tight, Isabella. They are on our list, and hopefully we will have time to get to all of them, because that's the dream, right? That's the dream. We also want to thank, as always, our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster, Jess Klaus,
Tanya Ferguson,
Jacqueline Rose Nishino,
Sarah and Julia,
Carrie Ann Lawrence,
Danny Gunlock Tamora,
Brittany Ray,
Alana Rosen,
Tara Gleason,
and Lizette Stye.
And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen,
Leah Henley,
Liz Chen,
Evelyn Smith,
and River Penzo. Thank you all so much. We could not keep doing this podcast without you and all of our patrons.
Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com.
Or you can check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Wherever you listen to podcasts, make sure that you subscribe. That way you'll get new episodes as soon as they go up.
You can also subscribe to The Flame, an original podcast musical, on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search The Flame Podcast Musical and you will find it.
We also still have videos going up on our YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe at youtube.com/letshangoutpod to catch those.
If you want to support the podcast, you can rate and review us on iTunes. It helps other people find the podcast, and we love hearing what you have to say.
If you want to support us financially, you can join our Patreon. You get access to all sorts of cool stuff like that Discord channel or our watch parties or game nights, all sorts of fun stuff, and we have a blast. You can find it at bit.ly/lespatreon. We also have a Patreon for The Flame, so if you're interested in hearing more about the musical, seeing some behind the scenes, getting some early drops of some of the songs, you should check out that Patreon as well. You can find it at patreon.com/theflamemusical.
If you want to get some Let's Hang Out merch, you can get that at bit.ly/lesshop. We have 35% off the shop this week, so make sure you check that out.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee. And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Hi, I'm Laura Cathcart Robbins, and I am the host and creator of the podcast Only One in the Room. Every week, my co-host Scott Slaughter and I invite you to join us and lose yourself in someone's incredible Only One story. We talk to real people dealing with issues like infertility, the death of a loved one, human trafficking, and women who, fake it. Oh, and we want to be fair, so we talk to celebrities too. Emmy winners like actor John Cryer, supermodels like Amber Valletta, and rock stars like Ryan Dusick. Everyone is invited to share their Only One story with our listeners. With 21 seasons and counting, we guarantee you that Only One in the Room has a story that you'll connect with. This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt alone in a room full of people, which is to say that this podcast is for everyone. Download Only One in the Room on Apple or Spotify today.